It's Max Action here. 65. Video 65 was the one that did me in. Yesterday, I missed a day. And I'll tell you why. So yesterday, and I'm going to tell you a little craziness that happens. Yesterday was my flight back. So I was coming back from LA. And a lot of stuff is happening. Now, obviously, a day where you're traveling is going to be a tough day to prioritize doing all of the things that you normally do. So that's just kind of a given. We've talked about this before where occasionally you're going to have those days that it just doesn't work out the way you want it to. You're going to have those days where you miss a day. But the important thing is that you start taking action the next day. You don't let that affect you. So I didn't really let it affect me. I was going to sleep last night and I was thinking, oh man, I forgot to do my video. But I was dead. Like, it was really, really difficult for me just traveling back. So let me kind of give you a little idea of what's happened over the last 7 days. So as you know, I was on a cruise ship. I was traveling around the Mexican Riviera. And so this is kind of, if you've never boarded a cruise ship, I'll give you a little idea of what it's like. There is a giant line of people. It's taking you forever to get on the boat because you're checking through immigration. Things are hot. You've got a few bags with you. Luckily, they take most of them. If you have a little kid, it's just notched up another 5 degrees because the kid's tired. They want to be carried everywhere. And it's just stressful for everyone. People are spouting out information to you. People in your own party are saying information as if it's true when they have no clue what they're talking about, and the entire gaggle is moving back and forth. So a lot of leadership lessons here. So what happens is we finally get on the ship. Everything is going swell. So everybody's having a good time. The food's great. We're enjoying the beginning days of this cruise. Now, several days in, I get a little bit of bad news. So this bad news is the person that I had watching house sitting for me while I was gone, unfortunately decided to get intoxicated. They got drunk, and they drove my car directly into somebody else, destroying my vehicle. Now, why would somebody make a poor choice like this, you might ask? Well, in the car that this person was driving was already a breathalyzer that you have to use to get the car started. Now, the car obviously wouldn't start with a massive level of intoxication, so this person decides to take my car. And when I went and saw it, I was absolutely floored. There were, from what I counted, 7 open beer cans in this car. And I'm thinking, wow, like, what an amazingly terrible decision this person made. So they made the decision to drink first, okay? Nothing too overly terrible. And then they made the decision to get into a car and to drive that car. And not just drive the car drunk, but also drive the car while still drinking inside of it. And mind you, this happened at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. So day drinking and then making this terrible decision. Now, this one decision can change your entire life. This is a huge example of that. This one decision that he made is going to be absolutely awful for him. Now, he has a breathalyzer in his car, so obviously he's already made this bad decision once before. This is the second time that he's done this. Luckily, the first time, he wasn't in my car when it happened. But this is where we're at right now. And so when I get this news, I take a big deep breath in. Now, I could just freak out, right? This is an option that I have. But I don't freak out. I stay calm and I say, okay, well, what do we need to do in this situation? Because we are in the middle of the ocean. There's literally nothing that we can do while we're out here. So we have to just contact somebody else. So luckily, my parents live close by, and they were able to come out and house sit for us while we're gone. So I got lucky on that, but it's figuring out, how do I solve this situation? How do I solve this problem? So there's problem number one right off the bat, and thinking about, well, how are we going to take care of this? And realizing that we can take care of it when we get back, because there's literally nothing that we can do right now, right? It doesn't pay to be frustrated and angry about something that you have absolutely no control over at this point in time. So we're just going to deal with it when we get back. So now the next thing that we're dealing with are just the stresses of additional people being frustrated about one thing happening that didn't go their way. I saw this a lot in the casino. So when people were gambling and apparently lost a little bit of money that they didn't want to, they got very frustrated about it, which also leads me to say, again, a decision that can really change your entire life, change your outlook. Because if you're not comfortable with spending that money and losing it, don't play. Let's stay away from all of the stuff that could really change our mood if it doesn't go the way we want to, because we can't control everything that's happening to us. Now, something good that happened was I met a YouTuber, Miss Kitty. I think you probably saw the video about that. And I met a personal trainer, Voyani, another great guy that I met on the ship. Now, this was a win for me, because going up and just talking to random people and creating this content was a little bit of a wall. And I told myself, you know what? Let's start throwing in some interviews that would change up what we're doing. So I decided to do that. I actually just held my breath and said, hey, I'm doing a YouTube channel. Would you like to be on it? Right? And they both said yes, without hesitation. Just, sure, I'll do it. Right? So it let me know that in my mind, I was making it out to be so incredibly difficult when it's really not. You just ask the question and then move forward from there. So it might be scary, but you can do it. So that was a win. Now, as we're getting off, it's again a complete craziness, because you're packing all of these bags. We were traveling with 14 bags, 13 in a car seat. So if you can imagine between 5 people hustling all of this stuff around, and I'm the strongest one of everyone, so I'm hustling all these things around, trying to lift him, trying to pull him back, trying to lift him, trying to pull him back. It was absolute insanity. And trying to get off a boat is the exact same of getting on it, just in reverse. There's still massive lines of people. Nobody has patience. They just want to get off the boat as quickly as possible and get to wherever they're going. So that was something where we just had to take a big deep breath and say, okay, this is the situation we're in right now. We have to just maintain focus on what we're doing, check our emotions, make sure that our state is staying great. And this process is going to work, because getting angry isn't going to help anything. So we finally get off this boat, and we've got all of these bags, and we're trying to figure out where we're going. Then we have to figure out, now we have another problem we have to figure out. What happens when we get home? How are we getting back to the house? Oh, another problem. So now we've got to research a new way to get back. Now you would think, you call Uber, you call, Lyft, one of these ride-sharing services would be great. That would be great if we didn't have 14 bags with us and 5 people. So we ended up needing to get 2 vans in order to fit all of our stuff and all of the people in there, which that was pretty easy to overcome. But here's the kicker. Number one, once I got to LAX airport and we're sitting there waiting for our flight, I start noticing my body feels a little rough, right? My back starts feeling very, very sensitive. I start feeling a little cough in my throat. I'm thinking, oh, great, here we go. Obviously, you're around a lot of people on a boat. You're around a lot of people on a plane. So now we're going, I'm probably catching something. I'm hoping it's a cold or something like that. And then by the time we get to San Jose, I'm a little bit worse. And I start feeling it more. I start feeling it in my head. I'm going, oh no, here we go. This is going to be bad. Then once we finally get back to Portland, I say, all right, here we go. We finally got back home. It was all I could do to eat a little something and then go stumble into bed to fall asleep. I was spent. Now today, I started looking at, oh no, I missed my video. Yeah, damn. I missed this opportunity. 65. I was so close to doing a 90-day streak 100%, but I was still feeling sick today. And so I took a COVID test, and wouldn't you believe it? Tested positive for COVID. Oh, I couldn't believe it. I've literally taken 10 COVID tests since this entire COVID thing began back in 2020. Never was able to test positive for it, ever. This is my first ever positive COVID test, and I feel like absolute trash. But I still want to make sure that I get this video out to you. So I'm going to actually be doing 2 videos today, one for yesterday and one for today, because I want to make sure that I'm still on track and I'm still making this a priority. Now, this is literally the only priority I'm creating today. So I'm not going to do my writing for an hour and a half because I am not focusing. I'm not going to do 200 bodyweight exercises because it's enough for me to get out of the bed. So that's going to be kind of great. And then the cherry on top. Right there. Look at that. I got a zit right in between my eyes. It feels like I'm constantly walking around with a hitman trained sniper rifle right on me. Everywhere I go. Couldn't believe it. But the reason why I share that with you is because before I would be extremely self-conscious about it. And now I can laugh about it, which is something else I learned and something that I think is really great when you can look at the little things that would typically make you insecure and be able to laugh at them. Because once you can laugh at your insecurities, they have no power over you anymore. They can't control you if you think they're funny. Things can't make you upset if you laugh at them right along with everybody else. So that was something big that I learned. But can you believe that? Like looking at myself going, oh my gosh, who is it? Where is he at? Where's he? Oh, it's a zit. So craziness. But I want to wrap this video up so I can get the second video created and then get back into bed. Because I want to make sure that I'm consistent with this, but I have to take care of myself as well. And I want you to make sure that you're taking care of yourself too. If you're not feeling good, you need to take care of yourself first. Pushing yourself when you feel sick is just going to make it worse. And you can't be strong if you're constantly fighting something else off. So that's kind of like a last little tip for you there. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video for today. And I'm so super excited for this. Even though I'm feeling like trash, this is still really exciting to get back into the studio here and be able to have our conversation today. So we'll cut this off here, but until the next video, take action now.